for 5 minutes.
Thank you kindly, Mr. Chairman, and thanks to our witnesses today. It's hard to think of an antitrust matter more pressing than concentration in the AI market. The dominance of a handful of AI companies presents a long-term problem for our national security, our democracy, our privacy, and basic fairness in the marketplace. But President Trump has plunged our government into chaos and disabled the federal agencies that we depend on to address such problems. It will be difficult to effectively respond to dangerous market concentration in the assembly of all human knowledge if we have governmental power that is dangerously concentrated itself in the president to the exclusion of Congress as the lawmaking branch and the judiciary as the protector of constitutional rights and values. Over a century ago, Congress established the Federal Trade Commission. It was created as an independent agency to enforce antitrust and consumer protection laws outside of the controlling pressure and power agendas of any single president or party. For more than a century, the FTC has protected Americans against scams, fraud, and other unfair and deceptive practices. It's also promoted and protected competition in the marketplace, which benefits consumers, workers, and small businesses, driving innovation in business without monopoly. Congress designed the FTC to be led by 5 commissioners across party lines who serve 7-year terms, are subject to Senate confirmation, and can only be fired for cause. Congress structured this independence to ensure that the FTC would serve the nonpartisan interests of the American people and be insulated from partisan political control. Over 90 years ago, the independence of these commissioners was tested, and the Supreme Court unanimously reaffirmed that the president cannot unilaterally fire an independent FTC commissioner without cause. Unitary executive power violated the careful federal design and infringed Congress's lawmaking power to establish the FTC as an effective and balanced instrument for the public good. Yet President Trump chose to violate federal law and defy the court's longstanding precedent by attempting to fire without cause the 2 Democratic members of the FTC. He did so to end the nonpartisan independence of the FTC and to make sure it responds to his momentary political demands above the national public interest as contemplated by Congress. Accordingly, the commissioners have brought suit to reverse their unlawful firing and to, as Commissioner Slaughter stated, make sure that the work of the commission is done without fear or favor, and more specifically, that we can take on the biggest companies in America without fear of getting fired for failure to do a favor to the president's friends or donors or corporate allies. The strongest federal rules on AI were established by President Biden in a 2023 EO. The Trump administration reversed that executive order, which laid down the guardrails for the AI industry. Not content with this rollback, the president has now hobbled and undermined the lead cop on the AI beat, the FTC, which has for years been at the forefront of holding big tech, including AI, to account. It's hard to debate the proper scope of regulation in this political space when Donald Trump has reportedly granted Elon Musk unlimited access to our most private and sensitive records, data that's undoubtedly invaluable to xAI, his AI company. Today, none of us here know whether Musk is using our data, classified information, and other sensitive data from databases across government to train his company's AI models and gain an unfair advantage over competitors and against citizens. Musk has refused to answer our many requests on this topic, and now he's crippled the agency charged with investigating these very tech abuses. Even if we came together and found agreement on regulatory reforms and safeguards for AI development, we still now lack an expert independent agency to enforce our decisions. The president and Musk are ushering in a new regime in which monarchical power, cronyism, corruption, and sycophancy rule. He's using his office to enrich himself, his friends, and his donors, all at the expense of the people. The attempted firing of 2 FTC commissioners and his subsequent removal of any FTC resource that might serve as a check on big tech illustrate how the president is dismantling the machinery of government to serve his own ends. Our constitutional order is under attack to concentrate all political power in the president. It's the political equivalent of what we're trying to prevent in the economic sphere. I hope that our witnesses can give us their best insight as to how to deal with this problem, but we are facing a structural crisis now in our government. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.